Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to cook a celery root for a white vegetable mash. So what you're going to do starting out is cut both ends off the celery root. And in case you're wondering, the celery root is actually the root ball of the common vegetable celery. So it kind of has the texture of a potato but with the mild flavor of celery. The benefit of using celery root over potato is that some people finally have a sensitivity to nightshade vegetables, of which potatoes are one. So this is a great substitute if you're looking to cut out nightshades. And what you're going to do once the ends are cut off is just lay it flat and start cutting off the rest of the outside of the celery root, making sure that there's no skin or areas, deep crevices with dirt left on the celery root. Then you're going to want to give it a rinse under the sink to wash off any dirt and start chopping it into cubes. Now this one has some weird air holes in it. I'm not sure at this point what causes these, but I do know it gives it a weird texture, so I'll show you what I do to fix that later. And another vegetable I'm going to add to this white root mash is a purple top turnip. So I just cut off both ends again to make it easy to peel and give it a quick peel. I normally do this over my garbage, but to show you guys, I did it on the counter. And then I'm going to chop it into about the same size diced squares as I did for the celery root. Then you're going to add them all to a pot of boiling water and let them boil until tender. My recipe said 8 minutes, but for me it took about 20 or 25. I really let them cook up until when they are pierced with a fork, they're really quite soft. And then once they're done, you add them to your food processor and process them until smooth. I added some olive oil just to get this going. Now, I didn't mention it before, but one of the reasons I add turnip to this mash is that turnip is actually a great antifungal food. So for anyone struggling with a candida overgrowth, turnip is a great addition to help fight off that candida yeast. I also added a bit of salt and pepper and garlic powder to season. So as I was saying before, there was some stringy bits that came from the holes that were in the celery root. Gave it a bit of a weird texture, so I decided to push all of the mash through a fine metal sieve with the spatula. Didn't take too long, just a few minutes, but it really saved the texture of the mash. I've had it before and didn't have an issue with that stringy bit, so it just really depends on the quality of your root. And this is the end result. I just rewarmed it on the stove and served it up. So check out this awesome plating. I bet you're really impressed. But seriously, my friend actually, this was her plate and I had her over for dinner this night and I was trying to get her to try vegetables because she literally doesn't touch them. And this is what she tried, so 10 points for me, which is actually a win. She tried some vegetables and I hope you do too.